Hello and welcome. In this video I'm going to show you how to add stick stitches to your work. In a previous video I've already shown how to convert this pattern for a cardigan worked flat, so back and forward to in the round. And in this video I'm going to show you how to add stick stitches to your work. This is a pattern for a cardigan called Flamingo Parade Jacket from Drops, and it's a free pattern on their website. I'm using this as a test pattern to convert, but the same technique will apply to any pattern for a cardigan worked flat, back and forward. So you knit the front and then you turn your work and purl the back. So any pattern that will be worked in the same way, you can apply what we are doing now. So the cardigan is worked front and then you turn and you work the back side, front and back, while doing color work at the same time. I worked the neck rib back and forward as they say on the pattern. I also worked my short rows so that the back is slightly raised in respect to the front side. And then you are ready to close the round so that you can work only on the front side, only knit stitches. So once you are ready to close, usually after you make the short rows, you need to cast on 5 stitches. These stitches will add fabric here, right at the front, connecting the two sides, so that we can then cut right into this fabric. The fabric will be created instead of these band stitches. So we are going to add these 5 stitches with the backward loop cast on. You just twist and put it on your needle like this, going from the right side here, and pull, and that's the first twist, 2 again, 3, 4 and 5. Don't make these stitches tight, because they will get even tighter now while working, and then it's going to be a bit difficult to actually work into these 5 stitches only on the first round. So after you make your 5 stick stitches, now we can join the round, and we are just going to join by continuing working into the first stitch. So a very simple and easy join. Just continue to knit. This is going to be my first round, so I'm going to follow the pattern where it says to just work 1 row of A, 1A, which is this pattern here. In my case is 1 round of knit stitches, all of the same color. I'm just going to knit around until I get to my stick stitches, and then I will show you how to work them. But to just work them as normal, like you would any other knit stitch. You get on the first stitch and you just do a knit stitch as normal. You work your stitches as normal. And from now on we will be knitting only on the front side of our work. So only knit stitches, not purls, and not back side, only front side. I'll meet you back when I get at the end of the round. When you work around, be mindful of these 5 stick stitches and make sure that you don't get them too spread out. So every time you move your stitches, move all of these together and push them, okay? Otherwise you might lose them, you know, they'll twist and then it's a little bit of a mess. So try to keep them always nice and closed. As you can see, the loops are at the bottom where they should be, not like that, but like this. And I'm almost getting there. I'm going to work the last stitches and I'll meet you there. Okay, so I'm almost at the end here. Then I have my 5 Steek Stitches. And for the next rounds, you might want to work your Steek Stitches with a different color yarn. This is what I mean when I say of different color. So from here to here, I have my 5 Steek Stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And I have one column of blue, one column of white, one blue at the very center, one white and another blue. Ideally, you want the middle column and the 2 columns on the side of a different color. Obviously, if you want to make a cardigan in the round with only one color, you can do them with the same color as at the start here where I made the 2 rounds and I didn't change to white, as long as you know that you have 5 stitches in the middle added just for the stick so that you can cut them. I have the last 2 stitches and then I have my 5 Steek Stitches. So 1 and 2, these are my last 2, and now I'm going to work these stitches here, which are my Steek Stitches. So, and I would want to work this first stitch in the same color. The next one in white, because it's the first round and I still have this back loop custom stitches, I prefer not to add any color. But this would be the white one, the second stitch, or any other color obviously you have. So the stitches are a bit difficult to work into, but if you make them pretty loose, it's not gonna be too terrible. Then we would have the middle stitch, which can be the same color as your main color. And then you would want a white stitch. And lastly, you can keep the same color as your main color of the cardigan. What's important is that this middle stitch is of a different color than the 2 on the sides. And this is your first round finished, and then you start with your second round as normal, and you continue. Obviously, the more rounds you will do, the more the fabric here in the middle is going to grow with the rest of the cardigan. And you continue. So I'm going to work another round, and I'll meet you back when I get almost here. So I'm almost getting back at the Steek Stitches at the end of the round. You can use a stitch marker if you want, and you work them as normal. And obviously, the more rounds you do, the more the Steek Stitches will look like the rest of your fabric. And there, I did my 5. Now I'm starting my third round, which for me is again another round of the same color. Then I'll have an increased round, and finally I'm going to start by adding the white color, and I will also make the 2 Steek Stitches on the side white. You can continue to work, as you can see, around and around with your pattern, your increases, everything is the same as your pattern will tell you to do, except at the front side, where they might have band stitches. We do not, because these are the 6 stitches here. So you can continue. I'm going to start my third round, and I will show you then what they look like with the white stitches in between. Again, this is for a cardigan that in the pattern is knitted flat back and forward. We are converting it to in the round by adding Steek Stitches. So, I say to do them in a different color because before we will cut the cardigan so that we can open it, we will reinforce the sides here on the right and on the left of the central column. The reinforcement is done with a crochet hook. We do first one side, and we have to pick up half a stitch from this column and half from the central column. We will pick up the left leg from these stitches and the right leg from the central column, like this. And then we will pick up the yarn and just work the stitch like this, okay? And we go through half and half, and then we pick up the next one, again half and half, and again half and half, and we work them like this one. When we finish one side, we will do the same thing with the left side. So in the same way, you pick up the remaining leg from the central column, which is the left, and the right leg of this column, and we will reinforce the stitches all the way along the cardigan, and then we do a slip stitch, okay? But this is what happens. So this part will be reinforced, this part will be reinforced, and we will cut right in the middle here of the central stitch. See? So once you reinforce this side and this side, the stitches will not go anywhere. They will stay where they are supposed to stay. As you can see, I did my first 2 rounds with the same color, because I was starting the white on my 3rd round, so I added the white color here on my 3rd round. Instead of starting here with my white stitches, I started here. So I got at the end and I did 1 steek stitch with the same main color here, blue. Then I added the white, so you can see here the tail is still there. Then I did blue, white, then blue, 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 and I started with the white stitches for the clouds. Okay, so I'm basically at this point here, I'm starting with the heads, the pink heads of the flamingos. In fact, I've just started here with the pink yarn, and I'm almost at the end of the round. As soon as I get here, I will work my 5-6 stitches. Instead of using the white, I will use the pink that I'm already using for my round. And that's it, basically. Now I'm going to work all the rest of the cardigan, and then I will meet you back again. Before cutting, I will add the button bands. Once I add the button bands, I will show you how to reinforce the stitches with a crochet hook, and then we will be cutting. I will show you how to cut right here in the middle the cardigan. So I will make a 3rd video for this. Again, the colored pattern will not change. The only thing that will change also in your pattern when you will convert it is only at the front, because at the front is where we close the round which was open, and we add these 5 stitches so that we can then cut them. But otherwise, the number of increases, how many stitches you have to make for your size, the sleeve, nothing changes. The only thing that changes is the total number of stitches for the yoke and the body of the cardigan. Okay, so I'm going to continue here with the yoke with the color pattern. Then I will go on and do the body, also the sleeves, and then when I finish I will meet you back in another video where I will show you how to reinforce the steek stitches and how to cut. Thanks for watching. Bye.